Get in the ring, brother lovers, and witness the trials and tribulations of the Von Erich family, one of the most influential families in professional wrestling. Take a peek into the rumored family curse that consumed the best in the business. There's no kayfabe, no tap-outs here, just pure family drama in the Iron Claw. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, The Iron Claw, directed here by Sean Durkin, who's known for directing the film The Nest and the eerie Martha Marcy Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. We meet the Von Erich family, and at the head of the table, no, not that one, is the patriarch daddy of the family, Fritz Von Erich, played effortlessly here by the go-to, we need a piece of shit for this role, Holt McCallany. He's an almost made-it, washed-up wrestler whose prime is well behind him. He now runs a Texan territory wrestling company called World Class Championship Wrestling. And his star attraction to his show is, of course, his son, Kevin, who is the oldest of the brothers by default due to the passing of his brother when they were kids. A theme that runs strong in this family, unfortunately. Then, of course, there's new recruit David, who shows he's got real talent behind the mic. If you smell what the Von Erichs are barbecuing. Kevin dreams of becoming the world heavyweight champion. And back in the early 1980s, with the territories of wrestling companies, you had to prove yourself to earn a chance for the belt. Back then, the decision wasn't made by one man, one narcissistic, money-hungry, insane, egotistical maniac calling the shots who gets the title. It was a pay-your-dues thing back in those days, and you literally had to be tough enough. You'd have to prove yourself to the older veterans and earn your spot. And sometimes, let's be honest, most of the times, if they didn't like you or think you deserved a shot, they would bury you and your career using dirty tactics. This was the Wild West of wrestling back in the day. However, Kevin gets his shot, and he better not fuck it up. All the while, David's career in the ring is on the rise, but not before the other brother, and let's be honest, most famous brother of the family, Kerry, misses a chance to compete in the Olympic Games when the US boycotted the Summer Olympics back in 1980 because of Russia. He joins his brothers in the ring and quickly shows that he was born to be in the squared circle. There's, of course, younger brother Mike, who's more of a creative type, being more interested in music and television. However, his father Fritz is having none of it! He rules with a manipulative fist, and it's not long before poor young Mike is forced into the ring. However, unfortunately, tragic does strike the family, and then it becomes an avalanche of things going from bad to how much more worse can this family take. For those of you who don't know, the Von Erich family suffered from so much tragedy that there's no wonder that there was a rumoured curse. But there was no curse here, no. They were just born and brought up in a time that certain things weren't tackled or talked about, and of course the head of the family, and their boss, was more concerned about the legacy of his name than his son's well-being. And the film doesn't treat you stupidly either. It doesn't spell everything out for you. And for those of you who know the backstory, you know what's happening when. There are certain historical figures here and famous matches that do get sort of somewhat attention, but it's not so shallow like Bohemian Rhapsody that has like a checklist of checkpoints that it's ticking off. And in saying all that, if you're looking forward to seeing some really famous matches with some famous wrestlers from history, you're not quite going to get that here. Even one particular infamous match between Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair that was in a stadium, you kind of just see it in the background on a TV. And the film focuses more on the aftermath of the match. So this film really focuses on the family drama. It's an incredibly emotional ride, but I felt the effects of this film after watching it days later than actually in the moment. This is definitely a film that will stick with you. The film looks magnificent as well, looking like an early 1980s sun-kissed dream. Like an old Polaroid come to life. And that's how you do a period piece properly. Look at some old photos, look back at some old footage and sort of recreate the feel of it. See, Hollywood, it's not fucking hard. But the elephant in the room, without a doubt, is Zac Efron and his magnificent performance. If he doesn't get nominated for a Best Actor award at the Academies or any award show, it'd be absolute criminal. His performance is magnificent, and he proves himself yet again that he's an actor that wants to be taken seriously with the majority of his choices. I mean, just look what he did to his body for the role, for fuck's sake. And his relationship with Pam, played with all the heart in the world by Lily James, is the sweetest and most heartwarming aspect of the film. Almost getting a sense of Rocky and Adrian.
But it can't go without saying the stellar performance by Jeremy Allen White as Kerry Von Erich is magnificent. Holy shit, I was a fan of this guy while watching him on the show The Bear, but here he's so good. This guy's going places. Surely he'll be nominated for Best Supporting Actor some award ceremony. He's just as awesome as Efron on the screen, and in some cases kind of overshadows him in certain scenes, which is oddly poetic and equally tragic. It's a film about brotherly love and the unbreakable bond between them all. Unfortunately, this family had just a road of tragedy and heartbreak from start to finish, but their legacy is ironclad in wrestling history. We wouldn't have The Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve Austin if it wasn't for the Von Erichs. And this film reminded me and kind of made me miss old school wrestling before Vince McMahon came along and made it into a fucking cartoon. Kerry Von Erich was the closest to Kiss the Sun in the world of professional wrestling during the 1980s boom. And it's really unfortunate that all the brothers had way more talent than wrestlers that were on TV creating household names for themselves. But sadly, that's the business. I highly recommend this film, 100%. It's even awesome for non-wrestling fans. It's just an emotional family drama. If you're sick to death of being preached to and talked down to and about the patriarchy and how one sexuality has it worse than the other and how your skin colour pretty much sets in stone either you're good or evil, blah, 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 then go watch this film. It's quite refreshing. If you want to watch a movie, a real fucking movie, this is it. This film is everything. It's masculine, it's heartfelt, it's emotional, it's drama, it's stellar acting. This film invigorated my love of movies. I mean, you know, this is why I like films, movies like this, because it affects you when you walk out of the cinema. Good, simple filmmaking, based on a true story, great acting, yeah, highly recommend this film, The Iron Claw. Guys, that's my review of The Iron Claw. Write down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it, and if you enjoyed it? But more importantly, what is your favourite sport-themed film? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies, and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly, and I'll see you back here next week for the next review, and until then, stay spooky, kids.